Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Running the Bases. I'm Michael Garaffa, joined by Nick Nath and Ryan Blank. We are back in person together. This is great. I don't know if it's just me, but the camera looks like it's blurry. It could simply just be me, but
it's blurry.
It's definitely blurry.
Would you like for me to clean it with my shirt real quick?
There's no focus on here. I mean, you can if you want. Yeah. It might not work, and I don't really want to take the risk that we do that and it doesn't work, and then it was a waste of time. But either way, there's no focus on here, so we can't really do much about it. Either way, we're here. We're doing another show. We're going to hopefully be in the Blaze studio in a couple of weeks, getting the chance to be on air again, be on the radio again. It would be great to be able to do that. We haven't been on Blaze since spring semester freshman year, so it's been a really long time. I remember that show vividly because it was the show that we made regular season predictions.
Where we walked out on you multiple times. You said the Mets were going to win the World Series?
No, I did, actually. Yeah. And I said
I remember that
Walker
show.
Buehler was not ready to win a
Cy
Young.
Buehler wasn't ready to win a Cy
But to be fair,
And who's going to win Cy Young this year, Michael?
That was 2 years ago. It doesn't. This year, yeah, he's ready.
But
2 years ago.
Oh, now he's ready when he's now the favorite.
No, whatever. That's not the point. But yeah, so that was the last time we were in person together. See how much angst that caused between all of us? Yeah, a lot. So
he's not very smart, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say.
Thanks. I thought you were. Never mind. So we are here with another great show. We're going to be doing a custom roster today, as we've been doing a lot. If you've been watching the channel, which considering no one's watching, you haven't. We've been doing these custom rosters.
Why did you just put us down like that? If you've been watching the show and then you just say, oh, wait, nobody's watching, you're just going to put us down like that? People will go back after the show is over and watch it. You're being so rude towards us two right now.
My mom watches every episode.
She does?
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
My parents don't know how to use YouTube, so they don't watch any of my shows.
That's unfortunate. Poor guy. He looks so sad about it.
I'm going to go cry real quick.
Poor guy. They could just send him a link and they can open it on Safari, right?
They don't have iPhones. They have Androids and they don't even know how to work their own phones. My parents aren't 80. They're just horrible with technology.
You could show them.
The green messages.
Yeah, the green messages. So the custom rosters that we do, we set it up. We have 5 starters, 3 bullpen arms, 1 for each position, and 3 bench players. This one was particularly hard because we're doing Texas-born players. There were some positions that were pretty easy, and then there were also some positions where there were definitely players that were really well deserving of being on this list that couldn't be simply because they just didn't make the cut. So we're going to get started here with our Texas-born players, our starting pitchers.
Are we doing a roundtable?
No, we're not doing a roundtable today. No, normally we'll have a 1-minute roundtable, but there's really nothing at roundtable for this week, unless you wanted to. What do you want on a roundtable?
I would love to do a roundtable today to just talk about how bad the Mets, how bad the Padres have been.
We can talk about that. We get to the power rankings.
Yeah. Can we talk about that when we get to power rankings and take a time to just chunk that out?
Well, I was gonna have at one point at the end of the year we're gonna all review our team seasons, but we're also gonna.
Can I review your team?
Sure. I'm probably going to be the most harsh on my own team.
Because there's one thing that you don't agree with me on.
They suck.
No, I think they suck. We agree on that. I don't think we agree on the fact that you way overpaid Francisco Lindor.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to agree with you on that yet. It's the first year of a contract.
Francisco Lindor is overpaid.
Okay, if he plays well next year, this is recency bias.
Yep. Exactly.
He hasn't looked good the past 2 years, people.
It's one season. He's hitting 297 in his last 2 months.
And how many games has he played in the past 2 months? That's a good question.
Games that he played in over a 40-game stretch, he was hitting 280. He was hitting his normal
40
self.
games.
And
40 games.
And over the course of
40 games.
Yeah.
Mets fans have to look at short-term results because the long-term results are absolutely nothing.
Wow.
That's just how baseball works.
Yeah, it is. That's how the game works. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna
let me get in his head, please.
Nick is in the perfect spot because he's the middleman here, where Ryan just yells at me, and Nick just stays out of it. So we'll talk more about other teams later as we get into the power rankings. There's plenty to talk about. I'll have my day, and we'll have our day to talk about the Mets in particular because of they're not making the playoffs. There's no reason for us to waste time on them now. We can talk about them.
You've been
after.
wasting your time for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I
On
have.
Twitter, he just gave up. He's like, let's just admit it. We're not making the playoffs
Yeah,
this year.
that's true.
Let's have a fun rest of the season.
I
I love
quit.
it.
Enjoy it.
I quit.
Enjoy watching baseball for the last month of the season.
All he
It's
does that
sad.
night is scrubs up to sleep. Knowing the last time they were good, they lost in the World Series.
Actually, to be fair, they lost in the wild card in 2016, which was the last time they were really good. But I still love the 2019 team. It's not a Mets show today, even though we always end up talking about the Mets anyway.
It's because they're a joke.
No, because you just like to bring up a lot of negative things on the show.
I like to turn the negative attention away from my Royals over to the Mets. Is what I
Yeah,
like to
really
do.
does.
more over to me
This
than
is the
anything.
first time we said Royals the entire broadcast.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So we're going to start with our starting pitchers. Do we want to do 5 in a row or just do 1 and then we'll do 1, 2,
Yeah,
3?
We probably all have the same 5.
Not necessarily.
Probably not.
I mean, I think maybe 1 through 4 will be the same, but I don't think number 5 will be the same because I've never even heard of my number 5.
Well, I've heard of all my
Yeah, I haven't heard of my
Same.
number 5 guys, so then we don't all have the same.
So then you definitely don't know what you're doing.
So I think we can agree on at least 3 of the 5, which is Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, and Clayton Kershaw.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I just forgot Greg Maddux.
Okay.
Sorry.
See?
Sorry, no.
What?
I'm kidding, Joe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Nolan
It's easily
Ryan,
those 3.
Greg Maddux, and Clayton Kershaw are yes.
I would say the 4th could be. We all know. We all know who the 4th is.
I wouldn't necessarily
Andy
say
Cooper.
I don't have him
I don't have him
on
either.
there.
What?
Oh my god. I have Homer Bailey and Josh Beckett. It's my other 2.
I don't have them. I have John Lackey and Bert Hooton.
I have Hilton Smith and Andy Cooper. 2 Hall of Famers here.
Okay, Josh Beckett might be. He won't be.
No, he won't. If he was
Josh
healthy
Beckett
his whole
will
career.
not be a Hall.
If he was healthy his whole career, he would have been in the Hall of Fame, unfortunately, because he was such a legend. But yeah, Bert Hooton, pretty solid pitcher. He had a lot of games.
Hooton.
Yeah, good name too.
Hootin' and holler in here.
Hooton is
Literally
a
Hootin'
really
and
great
holler.
baseball name. That
Hootin'
is.
must be a hoot.
You are spitting today.
Yeah, he is. But when is he not? So then we have our bullpen. So our rotation here consists of a lot of different names, which I expected at least. Our bullpen, I think, is gonna. We may agree on a couple of them, but for bullpen for Texas-born players, I have Joe Nathan, Houston Street, and AJ Ramos.
Yeah, I'm changing. Okay, Joe Smith. You said Joe Smith?
No, Joe Nathan.
Joe Nathan, yeah. Joe Nathan will be one of mine, along with Corey Knebel and Hudson Street.
Okay. Yeah, Corey Knebel and AJ Ramos are 50-50 for me. It was,
Oh, you guys are forgetting a Hall of Famer.
sorry, my chair's in
You
your
guys are
way.
forgetting a Hall of Famer. That's really a starting pitcher, but I put him in the bullpen because I can't disrespect him.
Of course you
Is that a dig at me here? Also, Michael, you might want to take a scoot back. Your head is taking up a nice 1/4 of the screen.
did. Well, if you scooted in, maybe your
Oh, if I
head-
scooted, I take up the entire screen. I can make jokes about myself too. But hey, my
so unnecessary.
my bullpen is Hudson Street, Joe Nathan, and Bill Foster.
We all agree on Joe Nathan and Houston Street, so
Yeah.
we're good in that regard.
It's Hudson Street.
No, it's Houston.
Houston.
Actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Houston Street.
STO.
Yeah.
Oh, let me look this up.
No, you don't look it up. We just tell you.
Yeah, you could just trust us, you know.
I don't trust Michael.
Well, you trust Nick, and Nick's telling you that it's Houston.
Well, my bad.
It's
It's
like-
Houston Street. Sorry.
Houston, we got a problem.
It's not like Houston, Texas. It's Houston.
It's more like Huston, but
Yeah.
Houston.
Yeah.
Ironic that his name's Houston and he's born in Texas. I wonder if he was actually born in Houston. So that's our pitching staff. And I think those are, honestly, I'd run that out in a World Series and expect to take 4 out of 5.
Oh my God! Yeah, you Clayton Kershaw, Nolan Ryan, and Greg Maddux. Like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly. That's
How
why.
would you not expect that? I'm sorry. I would expect to win the World Series. If not,
That's
we
what
got
I'm
some
saying.
issues.
That's what I'm saying. You win 4 out
Yeah,
of 5.
these rosters be this is a World Series roster.
Yeah, all the custom rosters end up really being elite because they're just the best of the best. It's more of just kind of doing something fun. So at catcher, I'm still going to look him up because I don't believe you, Ryan. I have Biz Mackey.
That was a complete joke.
Complete joke.
Oh, okay.
Complete joke.
Complete joke. Biz Mackey's my catcher. Ryan tried to trick me and say that he's a pitcher, but he's not. He's a catcher. So Biz Mackey is my catcher here.
Yeah, I think we all have Biz here.
I didn't even have a catcher before we got into this.
Yeah, it's got to be Biz. He's a Hall of Famer.
That's the only position I had no
Little
idea.
Biz Mackey. This is a starting pitcher in Ryan's mind.
No, that was a joke trying to set you off. Okay.
Yes. At first base, I have Ernie Banks, one of the most iconic shortstop of all time. Ryan, I can see you. One of the
That's
best
the point.
shortstop of all time, who also spent a lot of time at first base. But the shortstop position was also, there was a good plethora of people there, so I wanted to give Ernie Banks
Ooh, I love that word.
little
choice.
bit of
The diction there is impeccable.
yeah, it is. So because first base wasn't so deep, I just figured Ernie Banks is a good guy to put there so that we can respect the other guy that I wanted at shortstop.
Yeah, I got Goldschmidt at first. I have a few active players on here, but yeah, I just think Goldschmidt deserves to be on the roster. Longtime D-back grade, and he's still putting up good numbers in St. Louis.
I don't even have. Well, actually, I have one current player.
I have a good amount of active.
My first baseman's Ernie Banks. It's got to be. I wanted to put him at short, but then we had another guy who's just a legend that I put at shortstop. So Ernie Banks by default actually went to first.
Yeah, ironically enough, I mean it's hard to say anybody's a legend more than Ernie Banks, one of the best shortstops of all time. But to me, I'd say Ernie Banks is better than the guy that I have at shortstop. But the reason why I wanted him at first, like I said,
His
is
flexibility to
because-
play the position is why he's there. It's not because there's somebody better than him. It's just because he was able to play. First.
Well, yeah, and I
He's more
also
versatile.
Yeah.
I also feel
yeah.
like the guy at shortstop is not as good as Paul Goldschmidt, who would have been first. So I would have been sacrificing. The team would have been worse if I had left the guy at shortstop out. Second base, I'm sure we all have the same one. Arguably one of the best baseball players of all time, Rogers Hornsby. I don't. Who do you have?
I have Joe Morgan at second.
Okay,
That's perfectly fine.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
I think you guys have. Do you guys have Joe Morgan at short?
No, I don't have Joe Morgan.
Oh.
Actually, I should.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, he didn't even have 3,000 hits.
See,
But Rogers Hornsby had 3,500. So
Joe Morgan at second.
okay, you're entitled to your opinion. See, I'm not like you. I'm not going to attack you for your opinion.
Well, because I still have Rogers Hornsby on here.
That's fine. That's good.
I don't know how you have Joe Morgan on there, but
I do have him on here, but he's not starting. At third base, Eddie Matthews, long time. What?
I'm just baffled.
Long
You have a right to your opinion. I'm not going to judge. I'm just
long
baffled.
time Braves great. Eddie Matthews, iconic player, so much power. And he was really one of the best third basemen of all time. So just adding to this really great team out of Texas.
I'm just gonna put Joe Morgan at third. Just call it a day.
I have Eddie Matthews at third. One of the greatest third basemen ever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
There's
one of
nothing else
the-
I really have to say about it.
And one of the greatest offensive third
Yeah.
basemen ever, too. There's obviously a lot of debate of who's the best third baseman of all time. There's tons of names in there, but Eddie Matthews.
George Brett.
No. But that's okay.
Wait, top five.
Yeah, he's top.
He's top three.
He's top 5.
That in top three is still in top five. So we're both right.
It's a handshake because it's a business deal, folks. It's a business deal.
That was good. You're like, it's still top 5. At shortstop, I've got Gary Templeton, very iconic player who I was debating, like I said, putting Ernie Banks at shortstop over Templeton, but I believe that Templeton deserved a chance to be on here, which is why he got my start at shortstop.
When I think of shortstops, Ernie Banks is one of the first people that come to mind. Mr. Cubs. So I had to. The strength of position for Ernie Banks was too hard to ignore, so I had to put him out short.
Yeah, with me putting Ernie Banks at first and Joe Morgan at second, I put Rogers Hornsby at short. So yeah, I have the best infield.
You probably do. To be
My
fair.
infield.
we've-
My infield is
we've-
Ernie Banks, Joe Morgan, Eddie Matthews, and Rogers Hornsby.
Yes.
Okay, the only difference I have is Gary Templeton, and I put Joe Morgan over Gary Templeton. So you're right, you have the best infield. Outfield we go, and my first outfield spot belongs to one of the greatest players of all time, Frank Robinson. Didn't he just pass away last year too?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
passed away
yeah.
last year.
So rest in peace to him. I just such an amazing player, an amazing hitter. He could really do it all. What team did he play on?
Orioles.
Yeah, right. Yes, I always confuse him with.
Yeah, Frank Thomas.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually exactly who
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
confuse
Frank
him with.
Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, so iconic Frank Robinson.
Frank Robinson has the most home runs hit by any Texas-born player ever.
Wow.
So with over, I think it's 567.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the 560s at least.
Yeah, I also have Frank Robinson in the outfield.
Yeah, we've got 2 Hall of Famers in the outfield here. Actually, I do at least. I've got Tris Speaker as my other outfield spot.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I have Tris Speaker up there too. He's another guy who just you can't leave off.
Didn't hit for much power, but he had
That-
tons of
that
hits.
average.
He's a contact hitter.
Love that
He's a
average.
contact hitter.
That's your thing. Is the batting average. He was one hell of a
Was it 345? I
contact
think.
hitter. I don't know.
Yep, 345.
Yeah, I remember it was very high, and especially back in those days, hitting 345 is more common than it is today, but still almost impossible. In the last spot for my outfield, I've got Adam Dunn here. A lot of really great outfielders that could have fit into this spot, but for me, the power numbers that Adam Dunn put up in his career is just so special, and I can't ignore what Adam Dunn did at the plate over his career.
I have Lance Berkman on my last outfield position. Longtime Astro, Cardinal. Was really one of the better. He's a switch hitter. I'm assuming. Yeah,
Yeah, he
one
was.
of the better switch hitters of our generation. I feel like, and a real staple of those early Cardinals teams and those like really early Astros teams. Overall, just a really solid player from our era.
Let me highlight you guys on a Hall of Famer by the name of Ross Youngs. That's who I have in right field. He had a shorter career, 10 years, but hit 322, had 592 total career RBIs, and had 236 career doubles. So I have Ross Youngs in right field for me.
Nice. All right. Well, we all disagree on the last spot, but that's okay. We get to the bench, and I've got Joe Morgan on the bench here. I know you don't like it, but
It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's your opinion, and I respect it. 100%.
Wow,
I respect all your opinions.
That's real growth.
I've always respected everyone's opinions here.
That is real growth.
Wow. Alrighty. Yeah. Wow. I'm really impressed. I'm so proud of you. This is wow. What a learning experience. So yeah, first bench spot, Joe Morgan.
First bench spot for me is Adam Dunn. Those power numbers are off the charts.
First is for me is Eddie Matthews, and you know why.
Yeah, he's elite. There's no way around it. He is a spectacular third baseman. The
Imagine
next-
having Joe Morgan and Eddie Matthews on the bench. Would it be me?
Couldn't
Joe
be,
Morgan's not on my bench, but
Yeah, I don't have Eddie Matthews on the bench either. So to be fair, neither of us.
Fine. Or
shout out Goldie.
In my next bench spot is Lance Berkman. I've got him on my bench. Obviously, a really great player. I had to go with Adam Dunn in the outfield to wrap up the outfield, but Lance Berkman really deserves the attention here to me to be in the bench.
Mr. Astro, Lance Berkman for me as well.
Yeah, playing in Houston, Texas team.
I got Hunter Pence, one of my bench pieces. Longtime fan favorite in San Francisco and in Houston. Yeah, I mostly put him on here just for the fan favorite appeal, but I think he was a really solid hitter and fielder throughout his entire career. A little unorthodox throwing motion and batting stance, but you gotta love the guy.
Can't go wrong. Did you say yours yet?
Yeah, I said Lance Berkman, Mr. Astros.
Gotcha. Now my last bench spot is probably somebody that neither of you have heard of. It is Cecil Cooper.
I've heard of Cecil Cooper.
Yeah, he hit 298 in his career with 241 home runs. But the 298, that's a standout. to me.
Yeah.
Definitely deserving of a spot on here. Played from 1971 through 1987. And he really was always a really great hitter. 2,000 hits. Like I said, 241 homers and a career OPS of 803. That's respectable. And I mean, more than respectable, but it's great and respectable enough for him to make the last bench spot.
My last bench spot is going to go to Hunter Pence. Fan favorite, key piece of World Series teams in San Francisco. So definitely I'm putting Hunter Pence on my team on the bench.
Okay.
Yeah, Ross Young is my last guy. Very nice average, 222 average, only 42 home runs. But in a time when power wasn't a huge thing, that's 592 RBIs too. Very impressive.
I feel really bad. I didn't even give Marco the opportunity to join because I didn't even send him the link.
You think he's watching?
I don't know, but he didn't answer the text messages. But to be fair,
Please don't tell me it's not a comment from Marco.
No. There isn't a comment.
Oh, yeah. I just saw one viewer. I was like, uh-oh.
So I
But
feel
hello
really
to
bad.
our one viewer. We are very glad that you are here.
It's probably Brent. Brent, if you're watching, miss you. I haven't worked with you in like a month. Enjoy the rest of the show. So yeah, that's our custom roster. That was like the fastest we've ever done that. I'm really proud of us. We need to get here in under an hour because we got to get used to plays. And we're getting in a good spot. I feel like we're lining up.
I concur.
Yeah, I think we're lining up nicely. I'm sorry, I got to move this a little bit because I think it's just too close to Ryan, and we can all hear Ryan very well. So,
You know what? When I need to speak up and be loud,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
I know you will.
I just want to have it closer to all three of us. I
That's
feel like
why everyone loves me.
that is very true. Alrighty, so we get to the power rankings, and I think now that we have some time, we can definitely talk about the Mets, Padres, and Red Sox.
Hold on. There's someone we got to shout out first. We got to shout out the Orioles for ending their 19-game losing streak.
Beat Ohtani.
Okay, they beat Ohtani, which hurts me because I want him for MVP.
And he was over 403 strikeouts.
Yeah, but he hit number 41 today. So,
I saw that.
But hey, congrats to the Orioles not reaching 20. So, but yes, they are still 30th in last in the power rankings. Yes.
Did they win today?
Yeah,
Yes,
they did. 2-game winning streak, baby. They're winning 20 in a
beat
row.
the Angels. Last time I saw, they were up 13-1.
They did win 13-1.
Hey, the Angels scored off a Shohei homer.
They did.
Just don't get shut out, baby.
Yeah.
Just don't get shut out.
I think they're going to go on a win streak now. Maybe win 20 in a row.
Oh,
and,
that's not gonna happen. But
I would give them 3.
if
maybe
it does,
4.
we're gonna look back on this. We're like,
Yeah.
wow, that was a
good take.
It was a good take. It's not gonna happen, but I mean, you never know. Baseball's a really crazy sport. So we'll start with the Mets because I have them lowest on the power rankings out of everybody. Because they have fallen completely out of playoff contention.
They've been abysmal.
Yeah, they have.
It's been pretty bad.
Fallen out of playoff contention completely. Like talking as a Mets fan, the Mets aren't in playoff contention. No matter what anyone thinks, they're wrong. They're like 7 out with the Braves in first, and they still have to play the Cardinals this year. They play the let me just pull it up. They play the Yankees, the Red Sox going down the stretch. It's not going to be an easy stretch. They're about to start a 13-game stretch against the Nationals and Marlins, but then they play the Yankees, Cardinals, Phillies, Red Sox, Brewers, Marlins, and Braves to end the year. The only easy series in that are the Marlins, and even at that, the Marlins give the Mets a lot of trouble.
Here's the thing: the Mets, no offense, Michael, they're kind of done.
Yeah, I know they are.
They haven't. It doesn't matter that they're not healthy. They just are not playing good baseball, regardless. They're not hitting.
I know they're not.
And also, your best chance to make any run is right now with your 13-game stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. If they win 13 in a row, they may have a chance, but they have to win 13 in a row.
Are they going to win 13 in a row? No, they won't.
They barely won 2 games against the Giants and Dodgers, so it's just not going to happen.
And the Braves are hot.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on a tear lately.
The Braves are very hot. They had back-to-back days off yesterday and today, scheduled. Really weird. In the middle of the season, have back-to-back days off. But yeah, I'll dive into the Mets talk as a Mets analyst.
Analyst or fan?
Both.
Are you now their new color analyst?
I wish. So the Mets are they're doing what they've been doing all season, which is not hitting.
Disappointing.
Is it that thing where where you allow runs, we don't score any?
We really don't allow runs either.
Oh,
we just don't score any.
Well,
that will lead to some losses.
Here, let me read you how many runs they've given up recently. I'm just telling you the runs they've allowed. 3, 8.
Ooh.
2 to the Dodgers, 4 to the Dodgers, 3 to the Dodgers, 4 to the Dodgers.
Okay, those aren't bad.
2 to the Giants, 3 to the Giants, 7 to the Giants, 14 to the Dodgers. 2 to the Dodgers, 6 to the Dodgers. Then there were 2 doubleheaders. I can't see those. But they've been averaging only 4 or 5 runs allowed a game, but they're not scoring more than 2. So when you don't score runs, you're not going to win ball games.
So I do have to ask, who gets fired first?
Rojas, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. If they wanted to fire the hitting coach Hugh Quattlebaum first, they would have fired him already.
What's his name?
Go
Hugh Quattlebaum. That's his name.
Oh, so you're saying they would have gone full Padres like they got rid of Rothschild?
Yeah, I think if they were going to let Hugh Quattlebaum go first, they would have done it already because there's no reason to keep him around with the offense the way it's been. There's no reason to allow him to even be on the field if they wanted to fire him. But to me, I think that Rojas goes first, then Quattlebaum goes, and I think those are the only 2 that go, honestly, in the coaching staff. I think Zach Scott, the GM, won't be back. He's just an interim GM, so it's not like they can fire him. They could just say, "Hey, we're gonna give your job to somebody else."
Or they could just put him back where his old job was.
Yeah, that's true. They could do that as assistant to the general manager. But either way, he
not even assistant GM.
no, he was assistant to the GM.
Oh, this is a Dwight Schrute, Michael Scott type of scenario here.
Oh, his last name is Scott.
Oh God,
Perfect.
assistant to the general manager, just not assistant GM. That's not good.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So
Poor guy. Nightmare.
So unfortunately, the Mets just aren't hitting. They're not hitting at all. Their pitching has been just so good. Like they pitch phenomenally, and then they can't score runs. I think they're hitting like 205 this season with runners in scoring position, and with the bases loaded this year, they're hitting 180.
Well, the good news is
really good.
With
MRIs came back clean on DeGrom, and they're going to start ripping him up.
I heard he's good.
That's
now.
good news.
Yes, he is. He
and then
started throwing.
Syndergaard is reportedly close.
Syndergaard started his rehab assignment today. Actually, he pitched in single A.
Okay, so you're getting good news on pitching.
Yeah,
you just kind of need to get bats going.
Yeah, but at this point, it doesn't really matter what the bats do because the season's over. It's just a matter of getting Syndergaard some innings to be able to pitch next year full time.
I wouldn't even start DeGrom anymore either.
I would
not
in the only sense that I personally think that if he comes back and throws, I disagree. If he comes back and throws 3 starts of 7 innings that are dominant the way they normally are, with the way the NL Cy Young race is right now,
well, would he qualify with that?
No, he wouldn't qualify.
So okay, then why would you?
Okay, but still, Lance Lynn doesn't have the qualifying innings. He doesn't have enough innings to qualify either, so he can't. But he's probably
Lance Lynn's not going to win it.
But he probably is because he's the closest.
You can't give it to a pitcher who does not qualify.
Yes, you can. They were saying that Shohei Ohtani can win it, and he doesn't qualify either.
So
it's a matter of not qualifying in terms of for league leaders, right? That's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about qualifying in terms of enough starts to qualify for the award.
Oh, that I don't know what the number is for that. I thought you were talking about qualifying for league leaders because Lynn and Ohtani both don't in American.
Well, no. League leaders is different. I'm talking about like do they have the right number of games?
I don't know about that.
For those awards.
That I don't know if that's possible. I believe he should though. I think that he's had like 15 starts.
He should qualify if he pitches 3 more starts.
Yeah, if he has a couple more starts, and let's say he goes out there and does what he did in the first half, and let's say ends with an ERA at 1, it would be close. It really would.
It'd be undeniable to give a guy that had a 1.08 ERA not the
same. Buehler's been so good that pitching like that in the full season, I'd have to say that he deserves it more. But it's sad to me because if Jacob deGrom pitched a full season, he would have won the MVP this year without question, especially considering.
Who knows if he might have fallen off.
I know, but I'm saying if he did what he was projected to do.
If you were staying on that page.
I'd say even honestly, if he had an ERA under 2 this year, he probably would have won the MVP because there's no standout in the NL. Tatis was hurt most of the year, and Harper's really the next best thing.
Most of the year? Tatis only missed like 30 games.
That's a lot.
He still has 35 home runs.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just in general, like he's the standout right now because there's not really anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just back overall to the Mets is that they're just not hitting. They're not doing much on the offensive side, which is brutal to watch because they can't score runs. They'll have men on base. They'll have men in scoring position, and they can't score runs. And that is an easy way to fail.
Yeah, that's an easy way to lose games.
And the Mets are failing. Very big time. So I'll stop talking about the Mets. I'll let you guys do your analysis from outside the team.
Let me just say this about the Mets. Their pitching has been good because they've still got Sturman, Taijuan Walker. Cookie Carrasco didn't pitch bad today.
He pitched 7 innings, gave up 2 runs.
That's a great start. So the pitching is there. It's that
only 74 pitches.
The acquisition of Baez has blown up in their face. He spent time on the injured list, and he's been hitting horrifically. Nobody's hitting on the Mets. I don't know whether it is the lineup itself or if it is the hitting coach, but something needs to change there. Whether they go out and get a big bat in free agency or they just get a new hitting coach, they need to figure out something because what's holding them back is their offense completely.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to score runs, they're not going to win. It's kind of like the Yankees, but opposite, actually.
Yeah.
Because the Yankees can score 8, 9 runs, but if they give up 10 or 11, they're still going to lose.
Yeah.
You need to be pretty balanced and maybe even leaning a little bit towards pitching to win ball games and to be a World Series team.
Yeah.
And the Mets have no offense. They're all pitching, and that's not how it works. The formula does not work that way.
I'm just going to say it in I'm going to use one stat to sum up your entire season. And
Okay.
I know for majority of the season that he didn't play on the Mets, but at the time you were acquiring a guy that drew 15 walks and 131 strikeouts. I've seen Moneyball. I love that movie. And literally the turning point in that movie is when he finally decides that he wants people that get on base. He said people that get on base wins games.
Yeah.
That's just the formula for success in the MLB these days. Javier Baez is the
Opposite.
yeah. Because
He doesn't get on base.
He's hitting 196 this year with 147 strikeouts, 18 walks drawn, on base percentage of 260.
That's painful.
It's not. I don't want to blame this entire season on Baez because Baez
But
didn't
we
play.
can put some blame on the Mets for that because they went out and acquired the wrong guy.
They did.
They got who Lindor and Edwin Diaz wanted, thinking that would set up such a great infield up the middle. But here's the thing: they're not even using him up the middle.
Yeah.
What they were thinking at first was
Third.
putting him at third,
Oh, he's playing.
which
second.
would make absolutely zero sense. First off, second off, they need to get someone who gets on base. Baez does not get on base.
Doesn't. He gets on base 26% of the time.
That's not good at all. I don't care if your average is 140, but your on-base percentage is 429. I'm fine with that. But having an on-base percentage of 260 is... I don't even have a word for what I could say. It's horrific.
That's like being a bench player in junior varsity in high school.
No, that's worse.
Yeah,
That's being a junior on the freshman team.
and the thing that burns me even more is that Chris Bryant, whom the Mets were targeting, he's hit more home runs against the Mets with the Giants than Baez has hit with the Mets.
That is what I like
That's
to
the most Mets stat ever.
I think Bryant has 3
that
or
is what I
4.
like to call
He either
brutal.
has 3 or 4 against the Mets. Bryant does. Baez has only hit 2.
That's what I like to call brutal.
It is.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the Mets. We're a disgrace.
I love DeGrom. Can't wait to see DeGrom and Syndergaard
Yes,
healthy
I
next
agree.
year. That's going to be a fabulous 1-2 punch with Carrasco and Walker.
I don't know what Syndergaard you're going to get. I think...
Yeah, me neither. I'm a
It's
little
Other
nervous.
than that, I think it is something bad that
Well, you just don't like Noah Syndergaard.
I do not like Noah Syndergaard whatsoever. What I'm saying is Mets fans are relying on him coming back and being Thor again. And
He's
I
in a
don't know
contract
if-
year either. They
and
might
I
not
don't
even
know-
bring him back.
And I don't know if you can even trust him to be Thor again. You can't put that much pressure on him. You just got to let him ease back into getting into the rhythm and into the groove.
I also fully anticipate that they're going to sign Stroman long term. I think they'd be
As
idiots
they
to not do
should.
so. Which would then set up a rotation next year of DeGrom, Stroman, Syndergaard, Carrasco, Walker, which arguably entering the year could be the best in baseball.
Oh, no, the Dodgers.
Dodgers,
Okay, but if they let Scherzer walk
They're not like,
They're
and
not-
they
they've already said-
lose Bauer,
they've already
Oh, yeah,
said
that was-
they have already said they are not letting him walk.
yeah, but they may. You never know. They can say that all they want.
and they're going to get Dustin May back too.
They're getting Dustin May back. They're
Yeah,
gonna
but you
have
never know
Urias.
when he's coming back because he got Tommy John.
Okay, fine. Let me set up this picture.
Syndergaard got Tommy John last March. He's not even back yet. May got it in May.
Hear me
Or
out.
April.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Kershaw, Bueller, Scherzer,
Urias.
and if they bring back Danny Duffy
Danny Duffy.
or David Price.
Or Walker Buehler.
I said Walker Buehler.
I'd actually still argue that the
I said- I
five.
went Kershaw, Bueller.
I'd still argue that the 5 on the Mets are better than that.
No.
I would.
Oh.
I would make the argument. I could. Walker's having a career year. Stroman's having a career
okay.
year. DeGrom's
There's
DeGrom.
that.
The wild card is Syndergaard. If Syndergaard comes back and is Noah
Yeah, but
Syndergaard,
there's
then
no
you
wild
really
card
can't
for
argue.
the Dodgers besides May, who's hurt.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's the wild card of Trevor Bauer.
Oh,
and
sorry.
Max Scherzer.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Trevor Bauer comes back. They have 4.
He's not coming back.
Okay, but if he comes back, there's no question about
He's
it.
not coming
Yes, of course. I don't think he is either. But yeah, so that's that. We can talk more about that obviously as the offseason approaches. But I do want to talk about the Padres, who have also fallen from grace. I know you're so excited to talk about this.
Give me this one.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do the Padres. So,
Let me describe what's the deal with the Padres.
let's go to the
They're
bathroom,
just
get
so
some dinner.
Injury riddled. Darvish is hurt.
Yeah.
Paddock's
Well,
hurt.
Darvish has been terrible when he isn't hurt either.
Yeah. Well, Darvish is now back. He's starting tonight against Max Scherzer, which
I'm leaving him on my IL because I can't.
I
drop
think
him.
it's that for the Padres, the offense is also not there Tatis has been struggling outside of that home run he hit last
He
night.
was 0 for 6.
Yeah, he had a golden sombrero last night, which is 4 strikeouts for anyone that doesn't know that. 4 strikeouts
In a game. Yep.
Yeah. So he has not been hitting well. Machado hasn't been hitting well. Hosmer has been horrible this year.
You could argue Cronenworth's the second best hitter.
Yeah.
I know Cronenworth's been their best hitter as of
No.
late. Who's been
Okay,
better?
as of late,
As of
maybe.
late, okay.
Do you know who's been terrible? Adam Frazier since he's been traded.
Ooh,
Yeah.
He has been horrible.
Yeah, it's been rough.
That trade has bitten them in the arse.
He's been hitting like 240.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been rough.
he hasn't been good.
He had a big hit yesterday, but
But here's the thing. When you think of Adam Frazier, you thought about how dominant he was on the
Yeah.
Pirates, having one of the highest averages in baseball.
He was leading the league in hits.
Yeah.
yeah, he could have won the batting title this year.
Yeah, he's fallen from grace, just like the Padres.
Yeah.
And
They're corresponding, to be honest.
and it's just not a good sign for them. They have lost 8 of their last 10. It's not good.
And
They need
against
to get
teams they
healthy.
need to beat.
Yeah. What they really need to do was to gain ground on the Dodgers this week, and they've lost the first 2.
I'll say though, it helps that the Reds are playing the Brewers this week because it kind of
Reds beat them today.
So
They did?
So,
So,
yeah.
Padres, so,
So
Padres
if the
have to win
Padres lose tonight, they're down 2 games.
Oh, no, I think it was 1.5.
I have no clue.
2 if they lose.
Oh, if they lose. Okay.
Let's take a peek.
It's not a good look for the Padres right now. They need to get healthy, and they need to get that offense going. I don't like that they fired Rothschild either.
Why?
I think it was a little bit
They had,
premature.
they had like what a 7-year era since the All-Star break.
Yeah, but
I just
they
think-
did what the Mets are too afraid to do, and that's make a mid-season move
honestly,
that could end
honestly,
your season.
honestly, I'm fine with it. I just don't know if it's the best move to make personnel-wise when you're trying to turn the ship.
Yeah, they'd be too.
They definitely shouldn't have let him continue ruining the pitching staff.
Yeah.
At all. And then, but overall, they've got to get the bats going.
Dude, they're 15 out of the division. Remember when
Yeah.
you thought that the Padres might actually have a chance of winning it?
We thought this was a 2-team race going into the
And the
season between the
Should have been.
Padres
Should have been.
and the Dodgers. And look, the Padres, that team has no excuse to be out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And right now, if they keep playing like this, they will not be in the playoffs.
I don't think they will. I
The Padres.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in the playoffs.
I don't. I think that
They got to turn it around and turn it around.
You think the Reds? You think the Reds take the second
Mhm.
wild card?
I think they hold it. I really do.
The Reds have been really good.
Didn't we put a friendly bet on the Padres not making the playoffs?
No.
No,
We
didn't.
bet that the Giants and Dodgers would switch division places.
Oh yeah, correct. Yeah, I've been locked onto it since they got lost 3 out of 4 to the Diamondbacks. I said the Padres aren't making the playoffs, and I'm sticking with that because the game last night that I'll talk about a little bit in my moments of the week was so bad for the Padres, and honestly, even though I think the D-back series ended their season, I think that ended their season, and it's just brutal what they're doing.
The very fair take. They should have won that game last night.
Well,
Honestly, no, they didn't deserve to win that game.
both teams deserve to win the game.
Going
in the
into
10th.
extras, they had 3 hits.
Yeah, but they got no
both
hit.
teams had 3 hits.
Technically,
Dodgers had
the
4
Dodgers
hits.
threw a complete game no hitter last night. They threw 9
They did.
no hit innings in a
Yeah.
row from the 5th through the 14th.
Yeah.
And
The let's just say this: we thought the Mets were down bad. The Padres are down horrendous right now.
no, because
Well,
they're at least within playoff
The Mets are
contention.
down worse.
The Padres are one great win away from being right back in it, where the Mets are 5 great wins away. Like it's mentally, yes, but even in that regard,
But
I
you know
still.
how mental baseball is.
Well, yeah, of course.
How mental is it?
It's very mental.
Oh, okay.
It makes me mental, and I bet it makes you two mental as well. Baseball is it's an amazing sport, but it drives me crazy and it drives everyone crazy. I don't think we need to spend much time on the Red Sox. I think
The Red Sox, their whole trade deadline approach screwed them.
Yeah.
They needed to go get a bona fide first baseman,
Yeah.
and they needed to get
They
starting
needed
pitching, and they did not do it at all.
They got an injured Kyle Schwarber, who I love.
Oh yeah, and
He
he's
just,
been
hit
great.
his, he just hit his first home run last night as a
did,
Red Sox.
but-
But still, that's not enough.
But they got their first production from the trade deadline yesterday.
Yeah.
While,
Yeah,
while
that's
teams
true.
have been milking.
Well, he was hitting 385 since he's come.
I understand, but he's hurt, and that's the one thing they didn't need was more
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
They didn't need it.
It's like
They
the Yankees
technically have
adding
2
Joey
DH.
Gallo, but it worked for them.
They have 2
Joey
DH.
Gallo's been the worst hitter on the Yankees since
Right.
that deadline.
But Joey Gallo is also a Gold Glove level defender.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the Red Sox already have basically 2 DHs.
right.
with
JD Martinez.
JD Martinez and Xander Bogaerts before that trade.
So Xander Bogaerts.
I don't think. No, what I'm saying is Xander Bogaerts. Don't think he's that great of a fielder. So I'm saying you could throw him as a DH, basically. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But what I'm saying is Xander Bogaerts is not a very good fielder. He doesn't have that great of a range. So I'm saying is he could be a DH level guy because he's got the hitting. And now you add Schwarber into the mix.
I mean, basically anyone on the Red Sox could be a DH.
It doesn't work out like that. The Red Sox need to get pitching and a bona fide first baseman.
Yeah.
I wish the Royals would have traded Santana to the Red Sox because that's who
he wouldn't
wanted.
have done much either, to be fair.
The
I think Schwarber would have still been a better pickup than Santana.
The Red Sox should have gotten Barrios.
Yeah, they should have
made a run for.
But to be fair, Barrios hasn't been so great with the Blue Jays. He kind of fell off right before the deadline.
I feel like he would have been really good at Boston, though, just for some reason.
Yeah, but
while we're on the topic, Chris Sale just threw an immaculate inning.
Yes, he did. Chris Sale was through. It was actually about
he became the second pitcher
an hour
ever,
and a half ago,
along with Sandy Koufax, to throw 3 immaculate innings.
Really?
Yeah.
He's elite. One of the best left-handers ever. I remember watching him when he was with the White Sox when he first came up, and I knew that he was going to be a stud.
God.
I hate Chris Sale.
He's a torment.
Just because of what he did to the Royals.
He's such a talented player.
That's not what I'm saying.
I know.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just saying.
He's that good and that talented.
He's just so great. Let's get into our power rankings. I think if we do 10 minutes for power rankings, 10 minutes for the rest, we can get through this. So let's crank through it. At number 10, I've got the White Sox. We'll go a little bit quicker through the first, 7 or so, and then spend more time on the top. So at 10, I've got the White Sox.
10, I have the Athletics.
10, sorry, I had to pull out my phone because my computer died. 10, I have the Reds. I think the Reds have been playing great baseball. Sonny Gray's been incredible. Just had to put that out there.
No, he has. Number 9, I've got the Braves. Big jump between 10 and the rest, for me, at least.
9, I have the Red Sox, just for now.
9, I have the Mariners.
It's my last week with the Red Sox.
Oh, yeah, I've had the Red Sox out for like 3 weeks.
I just want to give them one more chance.
Yeah.
9, I have the Mariners.
Okay.
They're still right there. They're only a game behind the Athletics.
True that.
I've got the Mariners a little higher. 8, I've got the Reds. They have just been really good.
First team I ever watched when I was little. I have the Reds at 8.
I have the Braves at 8.
Damn, we were so close.
I have the Braves at 8. That team losing 2 of their stars, being out, but they were used to not having Soroka, but losing their guy and Acuna and still winning that division is insane.
And Ozuna.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And Ozuna.
Yeah, it's crazy. At number 7, I've got the Astros.
7, I got the White Sox.
7, I've got the Astros.
Okay. Number 6, Mariners.
6, Yankees.
6, White Sox.
Why didn't you keep the Yankees so low?
Because they're not even winning their division yet.
He's got a point.
Okay.
He's got a very good
That's
point.
true. I mean, you do have the Red Sox in the top 10 still, so I guess I can't be that upset. At number 5, I have the Rays.
5, I have the Astros.
Number 5, I have the Yankees. Red hot.
That's fair.
Okay, listen to my top 4 and then ask me how the Yankees.
Well, I still think the Yankees should be over the Rays in terms of power rankings. In terms of power rankings.
I think it's time.
Power rankings.
I
Power rankings are not overall. They're how they're doing right now. The Yankees have been better than
Okay,
the
the
Rays.
Yankees should be 1 then, because they're 10-0 in the last 10.
No, not necessarily. Because no, dude, they've won.
Is it time?
They've
Is it time? Yep, it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Well,
We had a good run.
Here
we
we go.
are.
Great run.
back again.
Great run that he had to ruin.
It's me back again on all my lonesome as they sit out there and complain about it. But I guess I'll just take over from here, guys.
How your idiocracy really baffles me sometimes.
I mean, you're gonna find out eventually, so it's okay.
I don't get it. And you're gonna say the Yankees deserve to be higher than the Rays in the power rankings because of how they've been playing, but they're not number 1 yet. They've won 11 in a row.
Okay, but they're number 2 because the team in
I
first.
swear, if you have the Giants,
We do the Dodgers at 3.
Can we get there?
Oh,
Can we get there?
okay, let's go.
Please.
Let's go.
At number 4, I have the Brewers.
4, I have the Brew Crew.
The anticipation is really exciting.
Yeah!
I got the Brew Crew! Yeah, I got
We're all
the
in
Brewers.
person. Oh, this is great. I love that. Now it's time. Hold on.
Oh, now we're gonna get really.
Oh, he's locking the
I'm
door.
locking the door so they
We're
just
stuck. You can't even figure out how to lock it.
It didn't even work. It's okay. Yeah, number 3, I've got the Dodgers. When I tell you they are right here behind the number 2 team.
You have got to be absolutely kidding me.
Okay,
Ladies and gentlemen, I officially quit. This is my 2 weeks notice.
I want to quit on the spot.
Wow.
I quit McDonald's on the spot. I'm gonna do the same thing right now.
Wow. How you doing down there?
Horrible. I have the Dodgers at 3.
You have the Dodgers at 3.
They're 14-2 in their last 16 games.
This has been great.
This has not been great.
So what do you guys have at number 3?
Honestly, I don't even. Who do I have? I have the Rays at 3.
Wait. Oh, you have the Yankees out. That's why.
Because Nick has a brain. I agree with him. The Rays are at 3.
Number 2, I have the Yankees.
How can you put him that high?
I'm going to literally.
Ow. My bad.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Okay, number 2, the Yankees.
2, I have the Giants.
I need to ask. I need to for my sake.
To ask about what?
How are they 2?
The Yankees?
They're not winning their division.
I didn't say
Power
they
rankings are a collection of how the team has done all year.
Okay, then
You
why do you
can't
have the
fact-
Mariners so high?
Because Mariners haven't had a time at this point this season where they have been in the bottom 5. And they have been surging for the past few months. This is the Yankees just surging for the past month, first off. And the Yankees were also in the bottom 5.
And the power rankings takes into consideration the whole year, but a lot weighs on it with who's hot. Like it's
Oh,
it's a
so
really-
how are the Giants hotter than them? Please.
First of all, they've won 4 in a row, and they've got the best record in baseball by a long shot. and
Not a
keep
long
winning.
shot.
Not by a long
2
shot.
games.
Because you know who has the second best record?
The Dodgers are.
And do you know who has the best record in the AL? The Rays, who are 3rd and rightfully should be 3rd.
Okay, but if you're going to do it based on that, then you don't even need to do it. You're just doing it based on their standing.
No, I also factor in who's hot. The Yankees were not. The
Right,
Yankees
you
were
got
like
the Dodgers
8 in
over
my
the
last time.
Giants.
Exactly.
Because the Dodgers are a better team and they are hotter
Okay,
than the
Yankees
Giants.
are hotter than the Rays. So what's the
The
difference?
Yankees are not a better team than the Rays.
Okay, but right now they're playing like a better team than the Rays. The Yankees have won
He said
11 in a row.
He said hotter. Hotter.
Dude, the Yankees have won 11 in a row. How could you not have them ahead of the Rays? The Rays have won 8
Because
out
the
of
Rays
10.
are the definition of consistency. Because they
Of course they are.
consistently
Don't-
win
okay,
with absolutely
don't wait.
nothing.
No.
What the Yankees had to do to get
Okay,
into the top 10.
Then why
It's ridiculous.
is it a problem that the
What
Giants
the
are over
Yankees
the
had to do
Dodgers?
is to
Then
go
why
out
is it a
and
problem?
get Rizzo
Wait,
and
wait.
Gallo to be relevant.
Shouldn't it
The
say,
Rays are better.
Shouldn't it say something? The fact that the Yankees are on an 11-game win streak and they're still not winning their division?
But
Yes,
look at
that
what
says
ground they've beat up.
something
They were
to
they were
everyone
12
besides
games
Michael.
I understand.
back. Okay. So if that's your reasoning, then why are the Giants over the Dodgers?
The Giants are not over the Dodgers.
I'm sorry. Then why aren't the
That's
Giants
the
over
thing.
the Dodgers?
Because the Dodgers are a better team and have been hotter than the Giants.
But they're still 2 games back, 2.5 games back. That's only 2 games more than the Yankees.
buddy,
And
buddy,
the
buddy,
Yankees
buddy,
have won 11
buddy,
in a
buddy,
row. The Dodgers have won 9
Have
out of
you realized
10.
something? You see how I just said the Dodgers were 14-2 over the last 16 games? Who have they been without for a little bit?
Mookie Betts.
Exactly.
Dude, look
What?
at
I
the
don't-
Giants.
I just-
Sucks and they're winning.
But they're healthy.
No,
they're-
they're not. Buster Posey's been in and out of the injured list for a while. Kevin Gausman's been on the injured list.
Cousins
And
back.
no, he's not.
Gausman's
He's
back.
gone again because of COVID. Because of he got his booster shot and he's now out again. So that's exactly what happened.
Okay,
And Brandon
we
Belt
need to go through this one more time. Michael,
and Evan Longoria's back on the injured list.
what did he do, dog? Evan Longoria at a time hadn't hit a home run since May.
It's okay. They got Chris Bryant to replace
Yes,
him.
they've got Chris Bryant that can play third, who the Mets should have actually gone for instead of Javier Baez. I'm sorry, but you saying the Yankees should be over the Rays is ridiculous because the Rays consistently win, and they have been the best team in the AL all year long. I don't care what you think at this point anymore, Michael, because when you look at it, the Rays have absolutely nothing compared to the Yankees. And then look what they're at. They are crushing that division.
The Giants have absolutely nothing compared to the Dodgers, and look at where they're at. They're winning the
The
division.
And the Dodgers
Giants have
haven't
been
been
healthy
healthy yet.
the majority of the year. Tell me when the Dodgers have been fully healthy.
Dude,
Tell me when the Dodgers have been fully healthy.
they haven't been.
There we go.
Thank you.
But you're using the same argument for the Yankees and the Rays. Like you're making the same exact argument that would then prove that the Giants should be over the Dodgers. Yes, you are. You're literally saying that the Rays don't have a better team, but they're playing better and have been more consistent.
Oh, but you just forgot something. The Dodgers are playing better than the Giants right now.
okay, but by like 1 or 2 games.
Exactly.
And the Yankees are playing better than the Rays right now.
Are they both consistently winning? What are the Rays in their past 10 games? 7-3?
8-2.
Oh, better than I thought!
Okay.
Wow!
Wait, so that's only a 2-game difference. The Dodgers are 9-1. The Giants are 7-3. That's only a 2-game difference. So what's the difference? I just want to know what the difference is because the Rays have won 4 in a row.
Because here's the thing. Like we've said, how many times, Nick?
I think like 4 or 5. I'm looking more for my phone.
We have
Just
consistently said
You're not-
that
there it is.
the Dodgers,
We're gonna have to speed
regardless
up
of
on
everything, they lost Bauer. They haven't had Seager. They didn't have Mookie. They didn't have Bellinger. They didn't have their star players, and they were still winning ball games.
Cody Bellinger's I think under 200.
Wow. That's
So let's think about this way, Michael. The Dodgers are healthy all year long, completely healthy all year long.
Yeah.
The Giants are nowhere close to first in that
Of course not.
division.
Well, I mean, you can't say that.
I think I can easily say that. I think the Dodgers
Why? Because
I think the Dodgers would have-
about 10,
would have-
15 more wins.
would have a 7-game lead in the division.
yeah, but it's also safe to assume that the Giants still have around like 78.
Right.
80
Well, no,
wins.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. This
Okay,
is nothing
but the-
against the Giants.
That's
what I'm
What I'm
saying.
saying is
Yeah,
that's how
yeah,
good the Dodgers would
yeah,
be. Is
yeah.
that they would have that lead,
Right, and I'm not
and
disagreeing
that
with
the
you.
Giants would be having their commanding lead in the wild card. Is what I'm saying.
I just think that overall the Giants have been a much better team. They've been so much more consistent lately. They've been winning, and they've been
Lately, who's been more consistent with winning? The Dodgers.
The Giants have literally never had a cold streak this year. They've literally been in first place all season, undoubtedly. The Dodgers have had so many cold streaks, and yet
And they're
Oh,
just games behind.
so now you're into factoring the season, but we can't factor in the season for the Rays.
I am factoring
Hypocrite.
in the season.
Hypocrite.
I am factoring in the season, but the
Oh,
Yankees
but you wouldn't
they've
add
won
it.
11 in a row. The Yankees have won 11 in a row.
He's contradicting himself so hard
Okay,
right now.
we're gonna agree to disagree.
Yes, that's fine. Even though my philosophy teacher told me that that's not allowed because agreeing to disagree is.
It's impossible for you to agree with us because you don't have a brain.
Wow, what a guy. Yes.
We're good.
Well, we're always going to be good.
Our power rankings
doesn't
are
matter.
always gonna fluctuate.
Yeah, they are. We're always going to have controversy. This is going to make the Twitter.
We're gonna run the bases now.
Yes, let's run the bases, baby. Who's first?
What's
I completely
this?
forgot.
Running the bases.
That's stirring the pot,
Oh,
actually. But yeah, it can be running the bases too. Maybe
Okay.
this way.
Sorry,
All right, you're
I'm on my phone because my computer died.
Yes.
Okay, my team of the week. My catcher is the best catcher this year in baseball, Salvador Perez. My first baseman's Jose Abreu. My second baseman's Whit Merrifield. And before anyone says Ty France over him, let me explain. Merrifield has more RBIs, more hits, and a higher OPS. No, Ty France has a higher OPS.
I backed him on this position too. So
Yes.
you can...
Put Whit over him for this week. I do my research. Third base, I have Andy Ibanez of the Rangers, who's been on fire. Shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. He is hitting 500 with over a 1.4 OPS. He's been terrific this week.
Yeah.
Left field, shout out to Kayla O'Sullivan because it is her lover.
Christian Yelich.
Exactly, it's Christian Yelich.
Wow.
He's been actually insane this week.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Is he back?
He's back.
I hope so.
He's back.
He's back.
I
Let's
hope
hope.
so. Center field, Tyler Naquin has the highest OPS out of anyone over the past week. And then right field, Anthony Santander. Despite the O's sucking, he has been really good. I can't believe I'm saying that. Because
Well,
you
Cedric
assume
Mullins
if
having a
they've
great
lost
year.
19 in a row, all of them
Cedric
must be
Mullins is actually
sucking.
in the MVP race.
But yeah, Anthony Santander's been actually really good. DH, I had a lot of trouble with DH between Stanton and Yordan Alvarez because of home runs to OPS. I had to pick Stanton. He's hitting 385 with a 1.5 OPS. So stands my DH. My starting pitchers: Max Fried, Sonny Gray, Robbie Ray, Walker Buehler, and Zach Gallen. That's a 5-game winning streak right there with those 5. My bullpen guys would be Austin Adams of the Padres, Kenley Jansen, Scott Barlow, Jordan Romano, and Josh Hader. And then my team of the week is the Yankees.
All right.
Do not even think about it, because
It's okay.
you're impossible to please. How do your parents live with you?
I'm just not the one who's contradicting myself. It's okay.
How am I contradicting myself?
How is he contradicting himself?
I'm saying the Yankees are the team of the week, but they
Team of the week. They haven't lost this week.
but they can't be over the Rays and the Pirates. Whatever. It's fine.
Because you like to value. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't value the Rays season over the Yankee season, but you can value the Giants season over the Dodgers. Cool.
All right, so we got players to watch. Some of these players Brian already mentioned, but I'll just let you know their stats. Ty France out of Seattle, 291 average, 16 home runs, 59 RBIs. Ahmed Rosario out of Cleveland, 287 average, 8 home runs, 43 RBIs. Josh Rojas out of I guess here in the Diamondbacks, quietly hitting 279, 11 home runs, 36 RBIs. Josh Harrison out of Oakland, huge trade deadline acquisition, batting 288, 7 home runs, 43 RBIs. And I only have 2 pitchers on this list. I'm going to go with Robbie Ray, who's quietly leading the AL in strikeouts now with a 9-5 record, 2.72 ERA, and 192 strikeouts to lead all of the AL. And Chris Bassett, man, I swear no one's giving him enough attention in the AL. 12-4 record, 3.22 ERA, 154 strikeouts for the Oakland Athletics.
He didn't get his recognition last year, and he was great last year.
Yeah, he was. He was the ace of that staff.
Yeah, he is the ace of that staff.
Yeah.
Players to watch.
All right.
Now we're gonna skip third because Marco's not here.
Yeah, we should just.
We have to skip Marco. And then we have to go to Michael, which is even worse.
Well, we can be a 3-bagger team, unfortunately. So I've got top 5 moments.
That's not what I thought you said at first. That is not what I thought you said at first. I'm going to whisper to Nick what I thought you said.
We're gonna
Why don't we just wait till
after the show?
Yeah, after the show. I don't want any risk of anyone
Goodness gracious.
hearing it.
Alrighty, so at number 5, this was a pretty cool moment considering that he had just been let go and then got picked up by his former team. Travis Shaw hitting a walk-off grand slam against the Rangers, pretty cool moment. It was just electrifying for a Red Sox team that just so needed that hit. At number 4, we have Max Fried tossing a Maddox against the Baltimore Orioles. It was the second Maddox we've had in like 2-3 weeks, which is pretty special. A Maddox, for those who don't know, is when a pitcher throws a complete game. I don't think it has to be shut up, but a complete game where you pitch less than 100 pitches. At number 3,
Did he finish at 89 or 90?
I don't know. I don't remember the
94.
pitch count. At number 3, I have the Dodgers and Padres game from August 25th. That was yesterday. That proceeded into this morning. A 6-hour-long marathon, 16 innings in the extra inning rule. I watched from the 12th inning on. It was about an hour and a half, and it was just awesome. The sloppiest baseball I've seen in the year, and still the second best game of the entire season. It was a lot of fun. At number 2, on the day that his grandmother passed away, Brandon Belt hitting 2 home runs and going 4 for 5 for the Giants in a win. That was on August 24th. That was an amazing game. Just a heartfelt story. Anytime there's heartfelt stories, it's always going to catch my attention, which is why he's at number 2. And then at number 1, Nick, take it away.
He went Oppo Taco in Toronto, and Miguel Cabrera hit his 500th home run, becoming the 26th player.
That was 28.
28th, sorry, to hit 500. Sixth foreign player. I think first Venezuelan player. And he had 501 the other day against the Cardinals too. And man, it's special. My favorite player of all time, the future Hall of Famer. He did it, man. He finally did it. After he hit 400 way back in 2015, and people were questioning if he was going to even get to 500. He finally did, man. He hit it off Steven Matz, and I couldn't have been more happy.
Well, if he has an MVP or this next year and the year after, he can maybe hit 600.
Next milestone is 3,000 hits, though. I'm very excited.
Yeah, he'll be right there. He's right around the corner. Could hit that this year. So that'll do it for today's show. We got it under an hour. I'm so proud of us. For Blaze, we have to be an hour for Blaze because we don't need to send it in. So I'm super proud of us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for being here. It was a lot of fun. We are just weeks away from
I will now be doing this show from a remote location. I can't do it with Michael anymore.
I'll be here.
will be in studio. Nick, old
You know what? I'll
reliable,
just come to see my boy Nick.
Yeah.
old
We'll
reliable
be
Nick
here.
is going to be here.
We'll be here.
Okay, good. Just making
Just
sure.
for Nick, though.
So thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. We're now planning on 6 o'clock Arizona time every Thursday. So you can count on it. Put it in your calendars. We'll be here. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys all next week.